Hello and welcome to Flickstick. I'm Zach, and in today's video, I'm going to be discussing some new changes and improvements to the Parsec app, including experimental support for H.265 compression, a new Directx renderer option, as well as the full public rollout of party mode. So guys, without further delay, let's go ahead and dig into these improvements. One of the features that a lot of people have been looking forward to as well as requesting within Parsec is support for H.265 compression, and it looks like we're now getting that. In its experimental stage, it does come with one small caveat, and that is the fact that it's not available for all hardware that would support H.265, and to be more specific, you must have a Maxwell-based GPU or newer from NVIDIA to be able to utilize H.265 in Parsec at this point in time. To translate that for people that aren't as involved in GPU architectures, that means you must have a GTX 900 series card or a GTX 1000 series card from NVIDIA to be able to utilize the new H.265 mode. New hardware profiles will be added in the coming weeks, but at this point in time, you must have the aforementioned GPUs to utilize it and start testing it. So this is great news overall, and part of the reason why it does have a more selective set of hardware that it can run on is because it is more computationally intensive, but it comes with several new benefits, including support for up to 300 FPS, as well as support to resolutions up to 8K. I'm not saying Parsec supports those frame rates and resolutions at this point in time, but H.265 in general does support those frame rates and resolutions. In addition, it also reduces the amount of bandwidth by approximately 40% if I am reading all the information on H.265 correctly. So it means less bandwidth for the same quality of video, as well as possible improvements to the frame rates you'll be able to transmit, as well as possible improvements to the max resolution we'll be able to support in the future. Another new added feature for Parsec is support for Directx rendering on Windows devices. This will mean general improvements for people that are running on Windows, but it is particularly advantageous for people that are running Parsec utilizing an older Intel CPU and don't have a dedicated GPU, so you must rely on the integrated graphics of those older Intel CPUs, and this should mean pretty significant performance increases for those people. So if you have an older Intel CPU and you have to utilize the integrated graphics and have had issues with Parsec in the past, try out the new DirectX mode and see if it improves things. But if you're a Windows user in general, you can try out and switch between the two modes very easily, so you can test both to see which might perform better for you. The final major feature of this update is the public release of the Party Finder, which is an awesome tool for finding people that are playing a local multiplayer game and joining in on that action from a remote computer. This works for both games that have a shared screen experience, as well as games that have a split screen local multiplayer experience. And this is a pretty awesome feature that takes a great concept and takes something that used to be very popular on consoles and brings it to the PC, but allows people to use and enjoy that gameplay experience, whether you're actually on the same local network as the person or you might be hundreds of miles away, which is a overall very cool concept and something that I love to see Parsec doing. And it's definitely a feature and a kind of like a core feature set of Parsec, the ability to have multiple people connecting to the same remote computer, that really makes Parsec stand out as a very unique offering. So we've covered all the major new features for this Parsec update, but there are a couple quick things I wanted to cover before we close this video out. The first of which is IPv6 is now enabled by default on all devices. And the second of which is the OpenGL requirement has been relaxed from 3.1 to 2.0 in an effort to increase the number of devices that will be able to actually utilize Parsec to stream from the cloud or even over your local network. All right, so that's pretty much a wrap for today's video, guys. I hope you guys found this video enjoyable as well as informative. Everybody at Flickstick appreciates all the support you guys give us through comments, likes, as well as subscribe. So thanks, guys, for watching, and until next time, Zach out.